Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to Inside the EntreMD Business School. I am here with one of our phenomenal students. Her name is Dr. Funke. So I'm going to have her completely introduce herself. She's going to let us know who she is, her business, and where she's located. Go ahead, Dr. Funke.
Oh, thanks for having me, Dr. Beckford. I am Funke Afolabi-Brown. I'm a sleep medicine physician, and I have a business that's really focused on sleep. Actually, two businesses now, I think. So one is the Restful Sleep Place, which is a practice that offers services to children and young adults with sleep issues, and it's my clinical practice. The other is Restful Sleep MD. This is the one that most people probably know me about, and it's all around sleep, really helping families, individuals, and professionals change their relationship with sleep. And so it's all about sleep. One is through more of a coaching, consulting kind business, and the other is really my clinical practice.
I love it. And where are you located?
We are in Pennsylvania. I'm in Ambler, Pennsylvania. It's a small town, about 30 minutes from Philadelphia.
Love it, love it, love it.
Yeah.
So really, we have two things going on. We have the Restful Place, which is our clinic, and then the Restful MD, which is, available all over the world, anywhere
Mhm.
anyone can connect. Now with business, there's so many things that happen and so many changes occur because you've been interviewed many times. Now, within the last 12 months, tell us, what are some of the biggest tangible wins that you've had within your business?
Yeah. Tangible wins. Oh my goodness, so many. So I left my academic position. So I went on to become a full-on entrepreneur. So prior to that, I was kind of doing this almost like a side gig, but really decided to 100% bet on myself and
Mhm,
went on to um, quit and then really start to pursue this full time. And
mhm,
then the other thing that has happened as a result of that is really opportunities have opened up for
mhm,
speaking because that's one of my passions.
mhm,
So speaking on various platforms, I think, yeah, in the last year I've been on TV twice, so that's been phenomenal. And also I became a keynote speaker. I've had various speaking opportunities.
mhm,
And then I also, opened my practice. So that was huge. So that was also last year. So, and with that, I'm also seeing quite a bit of growth. So it's
mhm,
been really exciting to really, so many tangible wins. And, it's, definitely there's growth, but,
mhm,
this mission is, it's a big goal of mine, and I'm
mhm.
slowly seeing it all come together.
Wow. We're talking about how much has happened within 12 months. So 12 months ago, if I'd asked you this question, you were still working in academic medicine and you were doing Restful Sleep MD, which is your coaching consultant. And then 12 months later, we're having the same conversation, but with different tangible wins. So Restful Sleep MD within the last 12 months has been on TV, expert speaking. You have gone and flown through different parts of the country. You have been sought after to even go and to coach in academic programs. You have opened up your clinical practice and you are seeing patients. So you're seeing patients under the Restful Sleep Place. All of
Mhm.
this 12 months ago did not exist.
It's amazing. It's amazing what a year can bring, right? Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So much of that. And the thing is that you're also seeing the growth, the financial growth, the growth in like, the revenue.
Mhm.
You're seeing the growth in the patients, and then you're seeing the results of the work that you've put in because none of this was easy, right? Now,
Mhm.
the thing about when we see growth and we see tangible wins is that behind those tangible wins, there are a lot of intangible wins. So tell us, what are some of your biggest intangible wins within the last 12 months?
I think the biggest would be around just mindset matters, really. It's about what the things that my capacity to dream has
Mm.
increased. And
Wow.
I think that's huge because, I'm kind of a bit more on the super pragmatic side, like how is this? But really allowing myself to dream. And think as I've done that, as I've dreamed bigger dreams, set bigger goals, it's manifesting,
Mm.
not the whole thing all at once, but surely it's drawing me closer to that. I think that is big. And that also then creates this spiral where I'm like, oh, wow, look at what I'm achieving with those big dreams. Imagine if I dream bigger. So I think that is a big one. And I think, another one is just really being in control of my time
Mm.
and really being able to dictate when I want to take off and how I want to spend my time and being able to really say for sure that I am the one that's responsible for my destiny in that sense, right? Like I make that determination. It's not in the hands of man.
Mhm.
And really having that autonomy to create something, okay, and see whether it worked or not, and being able to pivot. And
Mm.
I think being able to take 100% responsibility for the outcomes I'm getting.
Mhm.
It's a little scary because most times we want to just push it aside and blame somebody else and say, well, it was their fault, right?
Mhm.
But it's also freeing because if I'm able to take 100% responsibility, then I'm able to create what I want. So it's
Yes.
freeing as well, right? So
Mhm.
yeah, and I think that's really come with growth, it's come with my experience over the last year. Being
Yes.
able to say, okay, well, this didn't work because X, Y, and Z, right? We talk a
Mhm.
lot about, our 20% and our 80% in the business school. We talk about
Mhm.
using our CEO calendar. So if I'm seeing that there are parts of my goals that were not done, I could go back and say, okay, well, how much time did I allot on my CEO calendar? And how much of that time was really spent doing 80% of the work versus 20% of the work, which would have guaranteed me the
Absolutely.
result. And then what do? I just, kind of make some
Adjust.
changes and keep going. So I think those have been really some substantial, even though intangible.
Intangible.
Mhm.
I know,
Yeah.
right? It's substantial and
Yeah.
intangible at
Yeah.
the same time. So the
Yeah.
ability to just grow and for the imagination to
Mm,
let loose, which is
mm,
something that a lot of us as physicians, we have really kind of put a cap on our imagination based on
mm-hmm,
how we've been trained. So now you've been
mm-hmm,
able to let your imagination run loose, which is giving you unlimited power, right? So you're like,
mm-hmm,
well, if I'm dreaming this big and this is happening, why not dream bigger? Why not? Why
mm-hmm,
not? And then you're getting freedom of time to be able to do things the way you want it, but also with that freedom of responsibility, rest
mm,
assured that you know that a lot of the responsibility of some of the outcomes, they rest on you. So I can put
mm-hmm,
the input in and wait for the results, and I can adjust accordingly if it doesn't happen the way I want to. Loving
mm-hmm,
all of this. Alrighty, so talking about adjusting accordingly. We usually adjust when sometimes things don't work out the way we want it to,
mm-hmm,
right? So we've put in some effort, we have some wins, and then we have some times that we don't have the wins that we're looking for. So those are the ups
mm-hmm.
and downs of entrepreneurship, which we call lessons. So what are some of the biggest lessons that you've learned within the last 12 months?
I would say one big one is this, like, even if you are not seeing the results right away, just keep putting in the work. I
Mm.
mean, I've seen that with this practice because again, I just thought, well, there's been all this demand for or need for, a sleep expert that's able to take care of kids. And, I opened up and it seemed like there wasn't as much momentum at the
Mhm.
pace that I wanted.
Mhm.
But one thing I knew was if I just kind of put my head down and do the work and make people aware of what I'm doing or who I
Mhm.
am, eventually it's going to show up and patients are going to show. So I would say, things like my clinic schedule is empty. So, okay, why is it empty? It's empty because people don't know about me. Because if they
Mhm.
knew about me, there are people out there who are not sleeping well and they need my help. So, okay, I'm going to make
Absolutely.
them know about me. And
Mhm.
so I reach out and, really putting myself out there, which is a skill that I'd learned all this while, right? Part of whatever it is, wherever you are in your line of business, you're constantly taught to put yourself out there in the business school. So putting myself out there in a unique way to say, now I have a practice. Really, would you like to refer patients to me and things like that? And so doing that initially, and now it's gaining momentum. So why am I seeing patients now on my panel? Because I put that work in and I didn't quit and I didn't let that like seemingly empty looking schedule deter me. I just put that time towards something else. So I think that's a big one. And there's something we always say, it's always working. Even when it feels like it's not working, it is always working. And as long as you're willing to keep moving forward, like there's no way, think about it. You're going on a journey, like you're going from point A to point B. As long as you put one foot in front of the other, the only reason you're not going to get there is if you turn back or you stop. So just keep doing it. There may be some detours, right?
Along the way.
It may not be like a straight shot, but as long as you keep moving, you're gonna see that outcome that you want.
Love it, love it, love it. Keep going, don't stop. Things are working even when it doesn't appear to be working at the surface, as if something is bubbling underneath, right? Now, within the last 12 months, how would you say the business school has helped you to achieve some of these goals, your entrepreneurship goals?
Yeah, I would say definitely the accountability has been a big one, knowing that, I put out a word and said, for instance, I'm starting a practice, I'm leaving my cush employed position, right? There are people who are cheering you on. There are people who are leaning in, and there are people that are not where you are who are also saying, I wonder what's going to happen with this one, right? So being in a community where people really want you to succeed, it's almost, you feel like I owe it to myself, yes, but I owe it to this community. So that's been a big, big source of support. And then just all the resources, the coaching calls, and having a safe place to ask questions, no matter how mundane it may seem, no matter how basic. And also having a safe space to share my wins. Like the first time I saw a patient, like, I mean, there are people who have 25 patients a day. I saw my very first patient and listen, they cheered me on like I was seeing 25 patients. So having that safe space to be able to express that, or, having a place where, if, you've hit your first million and, you may feel like, well, if I'm in a different community, some people may be like, I don't know, envious or something, right? But that's not the case here. So I would say that's been a big one. And then again, the resources, being able to tap into all those resources, having a system in place where we could come and get the work done. The book challenges have been phenomenal, because every month there's a book, we're reading it and we're coming out with our aha. So I'm not reading it like it's just a novel. I'm reading it to workshop it and to share my big takeaways, which then makes it consolidates it in my mind and it makes it sort of part of me. So I would say there's been so many ways the school has been supportive.
I love it, love it, love it. Like you said, the support, to cheer you on, the accountability, the breadth of knowledge, the coaching, so much does the love that you'll get from those who are in different phases of entrepreneurship. So there is someone there and they're looking at you and they're like, oh, that sounds good. That looks like that could be me, but I'm not sure. I'm on the fence. I'm not sure if I should join the school. What do you have to say to that person?
I would say, to be honest, if you bet on yourself and you are willing to do the work, you will get the results, the school or not. Those torturous paths I talked to you about, they're more likely to be if you try to do it alone. I mean, it's not like if you have enough resilience and determination, you'll get there, but you can either 10x, that's another term we use, that pathway, or, do it, but really stepping into landmines that other people have stepped into. So with the school, you're moving much faster.
Yes.
And with the school, you're actually doing the things that have been proven to work. So you're not testing or trying things out. And you also have that community because entrepreneurship is not for the faint-hearted. We've done a lot of hard things, but we were not
Mhm.
necessarily taught the skills in school, right? So
Mhm.
with the school, you're able to get the tools, the coaching, the resources, and also you have pathways that have been, downtrodden, and it's clear, and all you need to do is work in it. Especially if you're someone who's willing to bet on yourself, who's willing to be coachable,
Mhm.
and is willing to not give up. Even when you feel like giving up, we don't let you give
We
up in the
don't
beginning.
let you. I
Yeah.
love it. So there you are. For those who are sitting on the outside, or you might be just sitting on the fence. Maybe you're on the wall and you're looking at us and you're like, what is going on inside that EntreMD Business School? Well, here we just gave you a glimpse of what it's like to be inside the EntreMD Business School. This is 1 year's change. Look at so much it has changed in Dr. Funke's business, in her life. So if you are on the fence and you're like, well, I am not sure, we welcome you and we invite you to step in and come inside the EntreMD Business School. I'm Dr. Tamara Beckford with Inside the EntreMD Business School show, and I will see you guys on the next episode. Bye-bye.